My personal opinion, I don't think marriage is worth it. And you know, sometimes when I talk to people about marriage statistics, they always get upset with me and they talk about how marriage is good for society and how most people that are married are actually happy. Well, here we have a video of a woman who allegedly deleted her husband in cold blood amid their divorce trial. And it's interesting because you'll hear people who speak on it, you know, like witnesses and people that knew them, they'll speak on their marriage as though, you know, they were friendly, they got together all the time, they got along very well, etc., etc. And for those people who assume everyone who says their marriage is good or they're happy in their marriage, do you honestly believe them?
New at 5, a local couple's marital problems has now become a criminal case. Bexar County Sheriff's deputies have arrested the wife who they say shot and killed her soon-to-be ex-husband.
And neighbors tell Katrina Weber that they didn't see this coming.
With her head hung low, 51-year-old Veronica Crow shows no interest in talking to news crews. But Bexar County detectives apparently got enough out of her to arrest her for the murder of her husband.
There are some indicators that they were in the process of ending that marriage, so there was definitely some marital strife going on.
The sheriff says someone else in the home on Pico De Aguila near Seale Parkway called deputies around 4 this morning. Then they found 49-year-old Damian Crow in the living room, dead from at least one shot to the head.
We believe the victim was asleep, and we believe that the suspect came and shot him for whatever reason while he was in his sleep.
Shot him for whatever reason. Obviously, the divorce was probably not going the way she thought it would. And you know, for the simple fact that oftentimes women initiate divorce more than men do, it's pretty interesting to see how some of them react in such violent manners. Now, obviously, this isn't the only woman that's done something like this, and obviously women aren't exclusive to things like this. Guys also do this as well. But for fellas, I think it's really interesting and really telling because honestly, you never really know who you marry until you get to that point in the relationship. And as much as people want to say that, you know, for the most part, people end up happily ever after, in today's society, that's definitely not the case. And that's more and more evident as time goes on. You know, people that have been together for 20 plus years are having great divorces. Women are considering their first marriages as starter husbands. I mean, honestly speaking, what man wants to be a part of something like that? So when you decide that you're going to essentially live the rest of your life with one person exclusively, you're taking on not only a huge commitment, but also a huge risk as well. And when you factor in the fact that some women, or some men in this case, but in this particular case, some women are more prone to act in violent tendencies, you really have to be careful. Frankly, there is no kind of vetting you could do for something like this. Like, there's no way he could have known that this was gonna happen. I mean, the guy was asleep, you know? So, I don't know, guys, if you're married, sleep one eye open, I guess.
What happened here in this upscale Northwest Bexar County neighborhood had investigators working to answer $1 million question: why? They roped off the area as they worked for hours, going through the home and carrying out bags of evidence. Neighbors were surprised to wake up to the scene, looking but not saying much to us about what happened. This seems to be the kind of neighborhood where people largely like to keep to themselves. Now, one man told me off camera the exception is holidays like the 4th of July, when this couple would often join in activities with everyone else. The neighbor says they appeared to be friendly and happy. The sheriff says,
you see, they appear to be friendly and happy. And this goes back to the question that I asked in the beginning. How many couples that actually say they're happy are actually happy? You'd be surprised if, like, okay, if you got the husband by himself, maybe you had like 2-3 drinks, you know, you had some alone time with them, pause, and you were able to ask a couple questions, do you think he'd be married? Or he would say that he's happy that he's married? When I was growing up, there was always like the dad on the block, or like, you know, the friend's father, or like the church dad that you'd run into at church and you talk to for a little bit. You know, these guys would always pull me to the side and they would always say to me, and this is married men I'm talking about, they look at me and they say, whatever you do, don't get married. And I always asked why. I was like, why would you not want to get married? I mean, when I was younger, I always wanted to be married. You know, like I thought to myself, like, one day I'll be with this woman for the rest of my life. It'll be just one woman. And you know, like you do all that Disney shit, but life is not a rom-com. Life has real life ramifications, and sometimes these things end up deadly. And as unfortunate as that is, this is surprisingly enough a very common case, especially in America. I don't know, married guys, you let me know if you're going through a divorce. What are some things, I mean, hopefully you're not going through anything violent, but what are some things you noticed that instantly changed with your now ex-wife's demeanor once that divorce initiated? Beyond that, let me know your thoughts and comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Check out another one of these videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.